Hey guys, and welcome back to Maplewood, the homesteading experiment, want to call it. Hey James, been away for quite some time. That is because we had to go all the way from early spring into early autumn before our wheat finally was ready to harvest. We are now in early autumn and can now start reaping the rewards, hopefully, of our all of our hard work earlier in the year. So I'm just on my way up here to the shop because we've got a fair bit of stuff to pick up. Hey, biggest fan, thanks for coming by. Hey Ed, what's up? It's doing pretty good here. Hey DB, thanks for coming by. We're back on, as I said earlier, we're back on Maplewood, the homesteading experiment. We're up here to pick up some things. Hey Haggard, what's up? Doing pretty good. We're up here getting ready to harvest finally our wheat on this map. And I've got $124,000. So we're going to see if we happen to have enough money to do what we want. But before we buy anything, I want to calculate out what we need, what we're going to do. So we got $124,239. I want to buy this 1660 axle flow for $45,000. I don't think I need any options on it. I'm just going to get it with the gearbox off. So that's $45,000. Right, so that'll leave us with $79,239. We're going to pick up the matching header for this, which is $8,000. So that'll leave us with $71,239. Need ourselves a trailer. So it turns out that this handy dandy little trailer holds 15,000, but it's on sale. So we're gonna buy this trailer. Leave everything exactly how it is, because we don't want to incur any additional expenses. So that is $58.99. So that takes us down to $65,000. And we're going to leave a straw swath. So we're going to need a baler to bale that. Well, we're going to have to go round baler because it's only $12,000. Right, no options. Yep, we'll just get standard $12,000 on that. That leaves us down to $53,000. We're going to need to get a way of getting this up off the field and off to market. That would require, I think we're going to have to just use this loading. So that is $39,000, right? And that'll leave us with $14,000 left, right? Because we've got a way of baling the straw, got the baler, got the trailer to pick them up. We're going to sell them. Got the harvester, the header, and a trailer to haul the grain. So that's all we're going to need. So let's get to buying. Buy up our harvester. I didn't want to go down through this route and find out that I didn't have enough money. Better. Trailer. And that's all we'll eat. That's all we'll have for now. Okay. Oh, the fall picnic. How was the fall picnic? Oh, hold on. I did an update, and you're not getting game sound. Hold on. Fix that problem. There you go. Oh, you serious? It's gonna be hard to get that header. Alright, we're gonna need to here and claim these items. Before anything. Hey Resnick, what's up? Oh, here we are. We are P&J Acres. Alright. There we go. Oh, thanks for the sub, RJ Lemming, Vlogs, and more. Working through a couple of ideas. I want to try to stream it. Stream what? Stream, I guess, his ideas. Oh, that's funny. After all that. That's funny. So guys, one of the reasons that we haven't been on this map for a while is, well, I kind of got some, oops, we're on the wrong side of the road. I kind of got some bad news. Pretty much everybody that was on the server has backed out. So I'm actually doing this in single player. I did get the save game, and basically we're going to continue through at least through this harvest and sell everything at the end of this harvest, and basically see if we have $300,000, see if we made any money. We may go ahead and plant and go through another harvest and see if we're basically losing money by playing this way, or basically keeping our shirt, so to speak, as opposed to losing it. But it's going to be pretty much a single player experiment now. Sadly, a couple players just weren't feeling the map. A couple players really prefer, oops, this way. A couple players really prefer bigger equipment. So this map really wasn't conducive to bigger equipment. To some degree, the gameplay style that we were looking at here isn't conducive to big equipment. So they were obviously not feeling it, so to speak. And then some others had to back out due to other commitments. We're just going to be in a single player experiment at this point. Alright, start. Why can't I move? There we go. Alright. Hopefully we don't need a header trailer. I didn't really put money in for a header trailer. Hopefully we can get through here. Well, that's good. That's good, Haggard. What year are you in? Are you a senior? Whoa. How's the ice cream plant look, Raznik? I haven't downloaded version 3. Disable. Okay, so the straw swath is enabled. That's pretty good. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa! There you go. Nosedive. So with MR, we can't stop this harvester quickly. Or we're gonna nosedive. Okay. Oops. Uh-oh, this is no good. There we go. There we go. Hey, Dojo, what is it? Dogo, well, I can't say that. Alright. Fold this thing. Testing maps or, whoa, that's loud. Let's turn that down a little bit. Testing maps for 19, or you mean doing the map videos for 19? I should probably have went the other direction. But that's okay. I don't have any plans to stop doing the map videos for 19, and of course I will do any map testing I can if anyone's willing to let me do that. Thanks, DJ Go Ham Gaming, for that donation. Thank you very much. I was going to mention that to date, I think we've collected, I think to date, $70 and now $80 towards the Child's Play charity. When I get an opportunity, I'll be sure to update that that scroller there with that new donation. Yeah, it is a little screamy. I turned the game sound down a bit. I'll jump in cab once we get once we get a little bit further down. Yeah, I'll plan on still doing map videos for 19. I've been thinking about the format that I'm going to do. Thank you again, DJ Go Ham Gaming. Thank you very much. Yeah, when I saw that that YouTube was doing this, when I saw that YouTube was doing the super chat for charity, I knew that I wanted to start doing that. And when I was scrolling through the information, they basically said that they had, I don't know how many thousand registered charities online, and I had remembered from a humble bundle that I purchased a few months ago, that I was able to pick this charity that basically gave donated games and such to hospitals, to children. And I went back and looked that charity up, and it was Child's Play. And then I looked and I saw that YouTube was supporting that charity through this feature. So that's the one I thought we would use. Kind of fitting that we're raising money for a charity that provides normal and electronic games and computer games and consoles and all of that to sick children by basically playing games ourselves. What's the purpose of this gameplay? House care? Homesteading? So, Genesis X, the idea of this was that we would start with just $300,000. Good, let's do this. Is that quieter? We would start with just $300,000. And we would have to buy our fields. All the fields were planted in grass. And we would have to plow the grass up and make our own fields. So all of these fields that I have were plowed up and worked, planted, and we had $300,000 and just $300,000 to do it. That included buying all of our equipment, buying the fields, obviously, the seed, the fertilizer, the placeable building that I put down I had to pay for out of that $300,000, and so forth. And basically seeing if well, the original concept was obviously this was multiplayer, and we were going to basically see, you know, over a year or 2 year period, you know, who would be able to earn the most money. But sadly, everyone but myself has kind of dropped out of the project, and as such, we are just here on our own now. But that was the purpose, and also the fields, as you can see, the field right in front of me is not only grass. We put down trees in the field, so we had to clear all of our fields of trees also. Kyle, this version, I would say I haven't heard. I'll have to ask the guy that did the edits. He was gonna reach out to Lancey Boy about the prospect of being able to do a limited distribution of this edit, and I haven't heard back. So I'll have to reach out to I'll have to reach out to Roy and find out if he had heard back yet. This map was released on the Mod Hub for a short period of time, and then it disappeared. I had heard that it was being updated, and I had figured that if it was being updated, that it would be out and re-released again. But I haven't seen it yet, so maybe it's one of the few mods that are still in testing. But it's Maplewood. It actually, I can see. Let me give you a link to Lancey Boy's Facebook. Okay, you have it. Just this version, right? So I need to check with Roy to see if he ever heard back from Lancey Boy on that inquiry. And I'll try to get in touch with you on what I hear back. Right. Right, we can't just do no grass on the fields. You have to do crops. You're doing a hurricane party in North Carolina. Oh my. Are you in the east? Or the what part of North Carolina are you in? Okay. I'll look you up and let you know. Well, he's got to be a little bit of a magician. Well, he did one map conversion from 15 to 17. Sadly, that wasn't allowed to be released. And then he did, you know, the Goldcrest edit. He definitely knows his way around editor. Now let me go in here and update this total. There we go. And I'll update the description here when I unload the grain bin. Oh, Ed, I hope she's doing all right. Did she get out? Or is she trying to, is she going to try to brave it out? Haggard, where are you at? You need to, the orchard, probably you just need to put water and manure at each tree. Probably takes 100 water and 100, takes probably 100 liters of water and 100 liters of manure per tree, probably. Okay. Yeah, I don't think the wind will be too bad for Kentucky. You know how much they're predicting for rain? I know for us, we're supposed to get about 4 inches of rain Monday and Tuesday, and probably starting tomorrow some wind effects, but nothing heavy. Probably 20 or 30 mile an hour winds Monday and Tuesday. Let's turn on GPS so we can just jump in cab and have a little quieter experience with this. This thing is loud. I'd say it's like anything else. You know, a cheap lawnmower is incredibly loud. An expensive lawnmower is pretty quiet, in my opinion. So, the probably is similar to that, you know. This thing was dirt cheap, so it's going to be all get out loud. Yeah, they're saying 40 up to 40 inches all up and down the coast of North and South Carolina, I think. I found a really cool picture of rain totals on the Washington Post. Oh my gosh. That would be awful. Yeah, no, I've got a neighbor that's got an electric lawnmower. I mean, you hear this little low hum coming out of that thing. Alright, how am I not hitting that? Oh, the width on this thing is wrong. I was like, how am I not hitting that? There. Yeah, you should be able to do several. You could probably support several hundred cows with because he took big field 42 out and made it all pasture. Well, it's back in testing. Well, it's back available for testing as I understand it. Yeah, that's my thought process, Ed. Exactly. Like, for example, I mean, you got to use electricity to charge the battery. The battery is, very few batteries are anywhere as close to being environmentally friendly. So if you factor in the fact that the battery is probably full of toxic chemicals that are harmful to the environment and basically need to be disposed of, then is it, I mean, I guess in the long run, if you can keep the electric mower for 10 years, then maybe it's better. But I hope you don't go through a whole bunch of batteries. And depending on how your energy is produced, let's say your energy is coal-based. Well, they're burning coal to produce the energy that you're using to charge your environmentally friendly lawnmower. But, you're not using a fossil fuel on your lawnmower, but you are using a fossil fuel to charge your lawnmower. So, is it, as you said, is it any really better? They're kind of expensive, too. Yeah, it depends on where you live. I know in Virginia, I think most of our energy comes from coal. We do have a nuclear power plant, I think, in the state, or at least one. So some of the power comes from there. I don't think we have any hydroelectric going on in the state. But it's coal or natural gas. Hey, Darren. Rasnick was just giving you great props on your South Mountain Creamery edit. Yeah, I knew about the one at Lake Anna. Didn't know about the Surrey one. There we go. Now we're cooking. What's everybody doing tonight? We were talking about this map in Lancey Boy. His latest map was going to be out on the channel today, but then Shamrock Valley happened. I figured folks would be interested in that one, so I put Shamrock Valley out in the channel. And Lancey Boy's new map will be out in the channel on Tuesday. His latest map's called Thornbrook. It is a nice small map, kind of intimate. His Easter egg, which standalone does not have. I don't think I'm going to say anything because I don't think I'm going to say anything. Yeah, I was a little surprised at at how small Shamrock Valley was. You know, I wasn't expecting it to be basically a quarter of the map in size, but you know, it works. I think it plays and feels a little bit bigger than that, based on maybe the road layout and everything. On this map, Darren? Oh, we get a beep at 80%. Well, Darren, actually, everybody backed out, so I'm in single player at the moment. So earlier today, I actually fast forwarded through midsummer and late summer to get to a point here where stuff was ready to harvest. Well, for one reason, it was hosted on a map that I didn't, or on a server that I didn't have control of. So you know, if I'm the only one that was interested in carrying on with the project, then it felt kind of weird asking asking the guy who was paying for the server to continue to foot the bill for that, as I just waited for the days to roll around and everything. So this way I can still work through it and just in single player. You found the Easter egg. Good. At the window, giving out. Oh, cool. It is pretty sweet, isn't it? Hey Fabio, what's up? Hey Anthony. I'm glad you're feeling good, Fabio. That's great. Well, I don't. It might not be a good idea, Haggard, if yeah, you don't want your grades to be suffering, but at the same time, you do need to get hay in. I get that also. Especially if it's sitting on the ground. Alright, Ed, thanks for dropping by. So what's up with Anthony tonight? Oh, that's interesting. I'll have to look when we go back if there is a there may be some type of something maybe on the map is preventing us from laying down a straw swath over there. Seems like lots of people are doing hay recently. Let's look up here. We've got kind of a diagonal here where we don't have a swath put down. Hey, John. Yeah, see, look at that. There's a, something there preventing the, swath to be put down. Wonder what, a, tip collision or something there. Yeah. Oh, your vacation is over. How long? That was a... You had a pretty long vacation, didn't you? Am I remembering that right? Oh, I hope not. Yeah, that is a long vacation. 2 months. Wow. It kind of narrows up here. There wasn't much of a problem putting a swath down up here. Just a little bit of a break. So we'll see if we have a break here in this one. Nope, no break. So whatever it is it's just that size. Well, you have to go to work tonight? Or are you just getting shifted over to night shift? This is a mod. Not really sure where it came from. It was a mod that was on the server. It's this, it's a 1660 that's got that icon to it. I don't know where it came from though. The only reason I got it is because it's cheap. And I don't know, maybe MR. I know this thing is loud. I had to turn down the volume. Maybe MR. Maybe MR adds to the sound. Oh, there's that. There's that tip again. All right, Haggard, have yourself a good evening. And do you sell the crate of apples at the creamery, right? We should go up here and dump our grain. Oh. Don't think. That's not worth. We have wheat or we have barley? It's wheat. It's not worth. That's not worth selling. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's a mod. It's a modded harvester. Right here. But like I said, I don't know where it came from. So it's $100,000 cheaper than the in-game harvester. Oh no. Yeah, but like I said, I don't know where it came from. To tell folks where to get it. We've got the manual unload mod in. So we have to hit R when we are under the trailer. Right. It's definitely MR that's making it rev up and down. You know, as it's unloading grain, it is revving up. I'm doing pretty good tonight. I thought we would fire up Maplewood and do a little bit of stream on the Homesteading experiment. Actually, the Gearbox add-on is in, but I don't have a clue how to use it, so I turn it off. We got, what, about half this field done? Yeah, got about half of her done now. Oh, okay. A permute? Permute? Let's dive on in there. Yeah, like I said, I don't have a clue how to use Gearbox. I don't really feel like spending the time to learn it. And to some degree, I've seen, I guess what soured me on it is I've seen enough people struggle with it during gameplay, and I think the last thing I want to do during gameplay is struggle with something. So, you know, it just doesn't happen. Hey, Will, what's up? Hey, Nick. I mean, some of it is I really don't have that much interest in wanting to learn Gearbox. So, there's no real desire to learn it. So that means there's no real desire to be interested in trying to figure it out. And back when I did drive tractors, the ones I drove were pretty much, well, they were manuals. But it's not like you shifted gears in a traditional sense. You know, you put it in third, and you let out the clutch, and you took off. If you were pulling a load, you might have put it in second, just to see if you could pull off in second. If you couldn't pull off in second, you just put it in first. And then once you got rolling in first, you put the clutch in, you dropped it into third. And then when you got out on the road, you'd throw the hand throttle open and get her up to speed in third. You'd drop the hand throttle, you double clutch, drop into fifth, and pull the clutch out, and then you start to pull the hand throttle back up, and you just roll down the road. I mean, that's how we worked it. So the gearbox, where the thing goes, shifts like 18 times. It's like, I don't understand an 18 shift tractor, so... Let's go up here and cut the corner a little bit. Yeah, I'm sure modern tractors are completely different than they were back then. But realism has never been a goal. Hey, I'm excited to see the covered bridge. Ah, the mobile liquid fertilizer truck is awesome. It's basically a mobile fill point. Hey Blake, Buff Bro Security, what's up? Hey, welcome back, Farm Walls Forever. Disasters would be interesting. You wake up one day and half your crop's gone. Alright, I don't think we're gonna make it the end of the run before we have to empty. Where are we at? 96%. Eight. Alright. Oh. Does this thing give a little beep when it's almost full? That's pretty cool. Hey, Green Fin Slayer, what's up? Alien Jim, what is up, buddy? What's the latest? I gotta tell you, DB's got an itch. He's got an itch that only Mercury Farm seems to be able to cure. It's going crazy over here. This thing rev up once we start unloading. Go. And now it's... We have a... we don't have an RPM gauge in here to see the RPMs. Ah, still pending. Hey, Richard Herman, what's up? Oh. Let's go empty this. We won't be able to hold another load. Whoa. You know, this thing's side dumped. Pretty cool. Do it again. Well, we'll watch it next time it empties. You go through a little bit of a mod purge. No, I knocked those over. I knocked those over in a little errant driving. The good thing about this harvester is I'll know how many hectares of field I have. Yeah. Boards are MR'd. Yep. I would say go check over at the MR databank. They should be over there in the MR databank. I definitely did not do that conversion. Converting something into MR is basically black magic as far as I'm concerned. Now, James, who was on the server, he has done a fair bit of conversions himself. So it may have been him that did the conversion. But I'd go check over at the MR databank and see if maybe it's published over there. Yeah, I mean, I did MR on Rathlin Island, and that was about enough MR for me. There's a fair bit of databanks available, or conversions available in the databank, but you know, when I was doing Rathlin, I really had to just, I went to the databank and I looked for mods, and that's all I did. Is I only looked for mods that were in the databank. And on lots of different series, I would rather not feel so limited to my choices. There you go. Pharmer-YouTube says there is one in the databank, so yeah, you can get yourself some MR'd Fords. Yeah, you know, as far as I'm concerned, the guys that can do the conversions, they know some they know some modding black magic. Yeah, I'm excited I can actually harvest at 4 mile an hour on this field. Yeah, that excites me. I'm really moving it now. On Valley of the Old Farm, there were some fields I could only harvest at like 2 mile an hour, and that's painful. That's like worse than planting poplar. Yeah, 24 mile an hour. Well, you would be done planting, you'd be done harvesting all these fields. Yeah, I like MR as a concept, but sometimes I'm wondering about the execution. We haven't had any issues so far with this harvester and wheel slip, but wheel slip can be such a problem. I mean, I had a really nice early on in this series. I had a nice Massey Ferguson. What was it? A 699 turbo or something? I don't know. I don't remember the exact model, but it was a turbo something. And it was a really cool tractor, and I was going to use it the whole time. But it had oil slick wheels, and it didn't grip worth a dang, and was just spinning left and right. So I got rid of it, and I picked up this Ford. This Ford has more traction than it needs, and I'm able to do what I need to do. Hey, Papa Smurf. What's up? Well, that's MR for you. No, keeping it real, right? Keeping it slow. Yeah, the gameplay engine is pretty cool, where it really does affect your overall usage of seed and stuff. I'm doing pretty good tonight. When we get this into this row, I'll pull up the tractor I had. That's what you're asking. Chromatic Bliss. Alright, so we had... Initially we had... That one? We had this one. Initially we had this mod, the 399 Turbo. $130 horsepower. But with its, at least with the conversion that's loaded, all it did was have crazy wheel slip. Now this thing with MR is woo, look at that. It likes to be, it's front heavy. This one is. And to some degree, that's another thing with MR. Is you're really if you don't know how to do the conversions, you're really at the mercy of the person that did the conversion. And if you get a bad conversion, you're going to have a bad experience. And it's really comes down to, you know, is the conversion right? Yeah, it might be the conversion is a little off on the you know, the MR file that's loaded into into this, that was loaded into the server. Maybe that's why it was so slippy. Should definitely be able to turn around again before we're full. I wouldn't call it tormenting. Yeah, you can also modify the dirt. Somehow the values of the dirt, so that the dirt is more fitting to the environment, which I guess can also lower the drag force. See, we'll go on and posted more screenshots. Let's look. No more screenshots. Alright. Well, it's clear. It's clear that I think there's some fanboys in chat. Which is fun, right? Yeah, I'm looking forward to 19. I'm hoping that they add back the tire flex, because we didn't see that in the pre-gameplay, the development gameplay footage. But visually, it looks absolutely stunning. Yeah, I think I saw him mention that, the bale speed thing, but I don't remember the details on it. Take a look at this header. The header, the center of the auger there is all paint's worn off. Bottom's all scraped up on the header, as is the side. They did a really good job in weathering this thing, aging it. Yeah, the redo on the tire collisions is good. You know, it was interesting to hear that the way they do current tire collisions is basically a very narrow edge. Basically almost no edge at all. A disc in kind of the middle of the tire is what actually keeps it up. But with 19, it will actually be a cylinder and have, you know, an actual contact surface with the ground. Yeah, Fabio, we're going to bale the straw and sell the bales for even more money. We got until the 4th day of autumn to get the straw off the ground. Oh, we will have a need for a second harvester on Emerald Coast for sure. By the end of the gameplay, I hope to have 3 full decked out farms, each with all of their own equipment, and at that point having 3 simultaneous farms running with you know, different farms basically working specific fields. I'm going to use the Massey Ferguson round baler, because if you can see, we only have $65,000 left, and the $65,000 we have to go towards a round baler and the bale pickup, the bale stacker, the auto stacker, which should leave us with about $14,000 left. So we don't have enough money to buy the in-game round baler, and we definitely don't have enough money to buy the square baler. So it's going to be the Massey Ferguson round bales. I don't know if this harvester is also over at Mod Hoster or not. Well, I'm worried we're gonna have to wait until next week for any more mod releases after the major dump they did earlier this week. I hope not, but I'm worried that that's how it's going to play out. So I'm thinking about harvesting everything and then selling the harvester back, and then buying the baler. Or do you think I should just pick up all this straw off of this field by buying the baler and the pickup trailer now, and then once this field is picked up, move on to the next field, do that one, pick it all up, and then move on? So do you think I should harvest everything now and then come back and pick up all the straw? Or should I do one field at a time? Harvest, then bale, then pick up, and then move on to the next field. Nope, no hired workers. Even though we're now even though we're in single player now, I'm gonna continue to do all the work. Plus, hired workers consume money. Oops. I really don't want to be spending extra money if I don't have to. We have 3 full game days till we have rain. We have plenty of time. .1 hectares was the first field we did, so it'll be interesting to see how big this field is. And then we've got 2 small fields over there. I think I'm going to just harvest everything. Then we'll see how much grain we have. Kind of weigh out what how much money we could earn if we sold it. Of course, we're going to sell the harvester and everything back once we don't need it. Yeah, I'm thinking if you don't find the mod on their Facebook, you might find it on Mod Hoster. Might also be over at American Eagles Modding. It's got a long startup sound. Sure, when we fired it up at the store, I didn't even know it was, I hit enter a few times before it actually started, because it just never did anything after I hit start the first time. Oh, did I yawn? Where did you found your fur truck? Where? At American Eagles? There's one of our other fields. And then across the way is our fourth littler field. So we're kind of harvesting in order of size. Really should turn around and harvest the other. I did this the first field, harvesting the wrong way. I need to be going the other direction. We're going to turn around. Well, DB, remember with Mercury Farms, since you can remove the hedges, you pretty much combine the fields and make them however size you want them. Or you could leave them how they are. Now the mirror there is not bad at all. Mirror placement's actually pretty good. Yeah, Kiwi, I know. It's a limitation YouTube's put in. I don't know if it relates to currency conversion or just dealing with charitable contributions from an international source. Like there's like 5 or 6 of those agra forestry fields, and they're really narrow and long. But if you cut the trees down that's between them, you can merge all of those into a pretty big sized field. What's Kiwi up to? All right. Let's go dump this at our silo, and we'll see how much wheat we got off of this field. Before we run over and empty into that other one. And let's take a look at the animation on this trailer. Seemed pretty cool. Alright, we got an animation on the gate latch. Look at that latch close up around that hook. Pretty cool. Doesn't have a cover. Oh, I forgot to look. See how much grain we had. Trailer is looks like it's a Russian deal. Comes in a couple different variants. 11,000, 15,000, 20,000, or an 18,000 variant. We just went with the standard of everything to save money. Turn this off. Oh shoot, I turned it off. Well, we'll get to hear Pragmatic. If you're still around, you'll get to hear the start up again. It is a pretty sweet startup. As you can hear it turning over. You can hear it catch. You can almost hear the rattling of the engine shaking everything as it comes up to speed. Yeah, I wish MR was a bit more accessible to the general player. You know, I feel it's very niche because it is so involved in getting to work right. It's not so much a drop in and play, unless all you do is use base equipment. Which, you know, to be honest, how many people run base equipment as their only option? There's, in my experience, there's very few people that run hardly any base equipment. Once they get into mods, they're looking for a mod for anything. If they can do it with a mod versus base equipment, then that's how they're going to do it. We're gonna this time we're actually going to set GPS on straight. All right. Going as kind of as straight as we practically can. 280 degrees, 81 degrees. Well, the whole conversion, MR conversion, just is black magic, if you ask me. Which makes it a bit less accessible because you're constrained by what has been made MR. Because if you're going to use more realistic, then you don't really want to not use it for everything. But, you know, there are conversions every day for all kinds of stuff coming out. So what might not be available today, next week might be available. go. Yeah, for this series, I was going to use just base equipment. Then I started looking at it, and I'm like, well, I can't do just base equipment, and only have $300,000. There's just no way I would be able to buy a tractor, base game tractor, and a base plow, and plow up these fields, and then turn around and buy a base fertilizer applicator and a base seeder, and definitely not a base harvester. Not with 300,000. Not with having to buy fields and all the other equipment. So, kind of the whole limitation of 300,000 really limited me to mods. Yeah, they're high, and I think, you know, to some degree, it's probably all been balanced around normal gameplay, where you earn so much more money per crop with your harvest, and the fact in normal gameplay you can just churn and burn. You can just, you know, turn fields around so quickly. See if we can't. Do a little reversing magic here with our dolly. Not really, not today. Hi Fabio, thanks for dropping by. We're not going to be on for too much terrible longer anyway. The other benefit of this being a single player adventure now is that you know, if a day or 2 days or 4 days goes by, they don't have to have the same number of days going by in game anymore. That's right. Harvest, everything is slow, and you know, everything takes time. Check out this screenshot. Oh, that's your truck. Now it's hard not to. It's hard to. You know, not take credit for that truck when it's got your name all over it, right? Yeah. Well, I saw Willow River over at what is it, American Style Modding, the FASMC or whatever. I guess they figured out how to extract it without running into a whole bunch of errors. Where's the fridge, or should we say, where is the dishwasher? Then you're gonna wonder, did Lancey Boy come by and drop some dishwashers on the map? I saw some vintage Landy Boy junk on Shamrock Valley. On that map, there was even some, you know, bars and stuff sticking out in the cow pastures. Like, man, I don't think a farmer would want that stuff sticking out, poking their cows. You know where she is, and you're mighty glad she's north of you. Storm's weakening, but now it is stalling out, so you get to be pelted with high winds and rain for days on end now. I did like the house. I thought the house was pretty cool, and you know, all the buildings that were made up. Obviously, that is a very large amount of work. Alright, later, Darren. Yeah, we're not going to be too far behind you. I concluded my my tropical depression preparations today by having the grass cut. So now I am thoroughly prepared for the next 4 days of steady rain, so that when it does dry out after all the rain, my grass won't be 3 foot tall. It'll only be 1.5 feet. I think we'll finish up this little corner and then we'll call it a night. So Raznik, what's your strategy on the South Mountain Creamery edit? How are you going to work it? And I suspect you're definitely going into the ice cream biz. Alright, check you later, Raznik. Hey, American Farmers Gaming. Dropping by as we're about to close out shop. How do I get, so you're asking, like, if you jumped in the streaming chat channel, how do I get your voice into the stream? In OBS, I basically use OBS to do that. And in OBS I set, I have desktop audio, which is the game audio. Okay. And then I have mic and auxiliary. So that is obviously my mic. And then I set a second desktop audio source up. And I set the input to be my headphones. Okay. Oops, turn it on. And in my headphones, I basically have told Discord to use my headphones to for audio out. So when you all talk in Discord, I hear it in my headphones, and as a result of that, OBS puts that in the stream. And of course, I've got different volume settings that I can adjust for all three inputs. So I can turn game sound up or down. I can turn my mic up or down, or I can turn my headphones up or down in OBS, which basically just acts as a volume control for OBS chat. 37,000 liters. was that field? Oh, I thought I turned the tractor off. Thought I turned the harvester off. It's getting late. Yes. More power to you. If you know how to use Photoshop, more power to you. I am a complete graphic noob. Couldn't figure out how to do anything in Photoshop. I could probably figure out how to open and close the application. That's probably about it. I do all my thumbnails and all that with actually with Premiere. I know how to do what I need to do with Premiere in order to get a video edited up. And I end up I just use Premiere to make my thumbnails. See, that's just, yeah, that's a lot more vision than I have, than I could do. I just don't I don't think I've got a creative bone in my body. If you gave me a piece of paper and said draw something, I'd probably say, well, what do you want? You'd say draw whatever you want to draw, and I'd say I don't know what I want to draw. I don't know. Yeah, we're gonna do fine. We're gonna get a lot of rain, probably starting Sunday night into Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. We'll get some wind with the rain. But the wind won't be anything worse than a big thunderstorm, except it'll just be longer. The rain won't be anything worse than a heavy deluge during a big thunderstorm, except it'll be longer. But the biggest worry is going to be, where does the water go? Because the ground's already wet. We've got construction going on campus, and you know, there's just standing water in the where they've got, you know, the dirt dug up, and the water's not getting soaked in. The water is not evaporating, because it's just every day and every 2 days there seems to be a rain for a little bit of the day. So the ground's never really getting a chance to truly dry out. Freehand stick people. Yeah, I could probably freehand a stick person. I might be able to freehand a stick person in Photoshop. I don't know. Depends if I could figure out how to use a pencil tool. Might take me a half hour to figure out how to get the pencil tool in. Alright guys, well, that's going to be about it for tonight. I'm probably going to finish harvesting these other fields, and next time we come together I'll probably be baling. Again, that's probably the best thing that relates to this moving into a single player versus a multiplayer environment, is time doesn't pass if I don't want it to pass. Meaning that we don't need to get on here every day for the next 2 days to get this wheat off the ground and get the straw off the ground before the 4th day of autumn. We can take our time. So thanks again for coming out, and tomorrow night we should be on South Mountain Creamery. We've got 2 more fields to chaff up at the BGA, and then we've got cornfield to harvest for grain, and then we've got a whole bunch of soybean fields to harvest. Then that will close out autumn. So we're not all going to get done that tomorrow, but we're going to get some of that hopefully done up at the BGA work. So until next time guys, happy farming.